Santa cookies.
Mmm. Sorry, that's
Wait,
Homer Simpson.
does everybody have their tree up?
Yeah, yeah, I have two, but this one my year-round one.
Oh yeah, the year-round one. Have you seen the year-round tree, Aaron, in Gary's kitchen?
No, I don't think I've ever been inside of Gary's house actually.
There it is.
Could stand to eat a little more actually.
We uh
um,
we decorate it for different seasons.
that is. I mean, that's like the cutest thing ever. When did this start, Gary? Tell us the backstory behind the
Well, a
year-round
couple
tree.
of years ago, we decided we weren't going to do a real tree anymore because it's messy. It's a pain in the butt to get it in and out of the house and expensive. So we thought, let's order a fake tree and we'll just, that'll be our tree for year after year. Well, we ordered it right after Christmas with all the sales. And then we waited a whole year to open it up. And when we did, it turned out to be this. This is it right here. Not like the big 6-7 foot tree. It was this Charlie Brown thing here. So we couldn't return it because it's been a whole year. It wasn't like, the receipts are good for that. So we just set it up in the kitchen and we've been decorating it with all sorts of things throughout the year.
What's
That's
like? I
it.
mean, is it like Valentine's Day hearts goes on there? Like,
Yeah, like New Year, I bought some Thanksgiving pilgrim turkey ornaments this year for Thanksgiving. For New Year's, we'll decorate it with disco balls.
okay,
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, all the major ones, Halloween.
that's good. That's actually kind of cool.
So
That's kind of cool. I mean, I got nothing for you other than that's cool. I think.
yeah, and we're gonna do for the off season, off holidays, we're gonna decorate it with food ornaments, like
Okay.
you saw the avocado, the s'more, just some fun things like that.
Does Santa like? Do you put treats under that one as well?
No, but sometimes the elves will. But this is strictly just a decorative feature of the house.
Mm, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the
That's
level
cool.
of dedication. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I don't even have my tree up.
really.
I've never purchased or put a Christmas tree in my house.
Well, I mean, you had a tree when you were younger, right?
Yeah, I mean my parents put it up. Yeah,
I'm about to
but
say if you said no to that, I was gonna feel so bad. Gary's kids get a little tree all year round, and
I'm
yeah,
I'm not gonna get too deep. But yeah, not a big tree guy.
all right, all right.
Not like
We,
Gary was in his past life. Big tree
yeah,
guy.
yeah, oh, yeah. Gary was a big tree guy in his past life. Um,
I'm not sure what that means, but
oh, you know what it means. We've seen the pictures or a picture.
oh yeah.
See, he can't even remember. That's proof right there. Yeah, like so my tree story is we used to go when we lived in Massachusetts. There was this like farm that wasn't too far away. You could go cut the tree down yourself. They have ones here too, but
Mm,
you can go cut the tree down yourself. But then like they always had like 5 or 6 different like types of trees available, and we always I can't remember what the name of this one was, but it was like really soft like pines, like so you could reach your hand like when you're decorated, you could like reach your arm in, no scratch because it's all like soft pines, but it
yeah.
also had like a citrusy smell to the tree. So like when you walk in the house, like you can smell the tree. Like it was actually really cool. So we got it like a few years in a row, like because it was like a thing. Like it smelled good, it was easy and all that stuff, and it was only like $50 to go cut it down yourself. It was a whole process, but
Yeah.
once we like stopped that, then it's like we'll never go back to that.
I don't ever see myself cutting down my own tree. I have that visions of like that Christmas Vacation movie where they're out in the middle of the
Yeah,
woods.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that's
every
dedication right there.
I mean, it's not really that bad. It's like a farm. It's like so you just like
Yeah, but you still
they're
gotta
like
cut it down. I mean, like put your
they,
lumberjack clothes on.
I mean they give you a little saw on a sled. You pull the kids behind. You know what I mean? There's the whole thing. It was
It's a
kind of
saw. You
crazy.
don't get an axe.
I mean, no, like have you seen a Christmas tree? Like it's not like it's like 6 feet tall. Just bare. You know, tree and then you just start to chop it. It's like low. You gotta get under there, Gary.
Ah,
You gotta get low, like 2000s rap songs.
I used to watch. It was strange. Back in ESPN's younger days, they would show the X like competition.
yeah.
What happened to that?
They got better programming, but
I thought maybe like was it like a result of COVID or something like that? It was like too much exertion.
No, they got the big contracts for like the NBA and NFL and whatnot.
Dang.
they got more real sports, and they're like, all right, we don't need to fill
That's
time.
on the Ocho now.
That's definitely on the Ocho for sure. For sure.
Dang, I forgot about that. That used to be crazy to watch. Like them people is different people, bro.
That's fitness too. That's crazy fitness.
The crazy fitness.
Right.
Like that could be an Olympic sport. They probably tried to get it, to get it in there.
Log rolling for sure.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, but the point was, do you, what kind of, what's the names do you leave for Santa? Like what kind of treats do you leave for Santa?
We do. You ever heard of like garbage cookies?
No.
You ever that? It's like we take like extra Halloween candy and we cut it up and put it in the cookie mix. So like
No.
we got a bunch of Rolos, Snickers, all the just leftover Halloween candy. We chop it all up, put it in the mix, and then we make cookies out of that. I think they're called garbage cookies or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've never had a garbage cookie, Gary. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, your parenting style is making me feel very bad about mine. So we'll just change this up. I mean, I think I've thrown like Oreos under there before. Yeah, that's about it though.
Oreos crazy, bro. You kind of gotta like
Chocolate chip it.
go homemade, bro. Like it gotta be something you bake. Like,
Well, I mean,
you can't, like rip it out the package and put it on a plate. That's strange.
well, it's often I forget, right? But then at some point in the journey, I'm not sure. Santa left a note one year and said that he was vegan for us. I don't know. So I don't know what happened. And so we're
Was
like,
it the
Oreos
same
are
year that you
vegan.
were vegan?
No, it wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so like Oreos are vegan, so like we left the Oreos and he ate them. So that's where we stuck at. I don't know. By the time he gets to Gary's house, by the time he may go by Gary's house first, and he's like, I need something a little less here, and then refreshing Oreos. I don't know. All right, Gary. Speaking of hustling around the globe, eating cookies and breaking and entering, you were in a race last weekend, and I think you were hustling around. I think you're on mute too.
There we go. We got PB&J for Big Bro. All right, Aaron.
Wait.
Let's go back to that real quick.
Wait, hold up. What? You leave a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for Santa Claus? I mean, I believe it. I listen. You know what's happening?
Everybody got their own tradition.
Nah.
Everybody got their own
happening?
tradition.
You know what's happening in the Holly household? And I hope your kids listening to this, Ern. Ern waking up and stealing Santa's. He eating that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what it is. Ern getting up in the middle of the night, eating that sandwich, right? Santa gets to the house every time and is like, yo, there's nothing here for me. And he wonders why. But it's because Ern likes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He makes his kids make them for him, which is shady business. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, look, it's not the worst idea, right? Because, we as runners, as we get closer and closer to like marathon day, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is our bread and butter, so to speak.
It's really the go-to, though.
Yeah.
I ain't had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a while. Maybe that's why my last marathon didn't go so well.
Probably directly related.
When's the last time you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
A couple days ago.
Couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
damn. Remember that time we talked about a double a couple days ago? You remember that time we talked about a double stack? Did you do a double stack?
No, I'm almost exclusively like half peanut, like one slice of bread and just peanut butter on one side.
Really?
And the other folded peanut butter and jelly
Oh,
taco.
like literally start with one bread not cut and then.
This is a good question because Megan and we do peanut butter jellies differently. I'll put jelly on one slice and peanut butter on the other, but she puts them on both slices.
Wait, what?
No, you're doing it the same way.
Wait,
Peanut
wait,
butter
wait.
on one slice, jelly on the other, put them
Yeah.
together. That's the same like normal human way.
Right.
Any other way is just
What
You
does
mix
she
them
do?
together. She puts the peanut butter and jelly on one slice and puts the plain slice on top of that.
Gary, listen. You're
so
not.
she put
you're
the
not
peanut butter down first,
Yeah.
put the jelly on top of it, and then
Yeah.
put a raw slice, you know.
No,
Yeah.
on top.
raw slice is
I
crazy.
mean, she might
Wait.
mix them up. I haven't
No.
witnessed it.
Wait, what? Wait, this is getting weirder and weirder. How have you? Number one, let's start from the end. How have you not witnessed it?
I mean, it's not like we're gonna like sit there and watch each other make peanut butter and jellies.
I mean, you ain't never been in the kitchen when she made the peanut butter and jelly,
You know what? Now I think about it, I don't know if I have, or at least I haven't like paid too close attention to it.
and then, but okay, so you're saying that you thinking that she puts the peanut butter down.
She's told me this because she's seen me do it, and she thinks I'm doing it wrong.
She puts the peanut butter down and then lays another layer of jelly on top of the peanut butter that's on the bread.
Yeah, or vice versa.
It can't be vice versa.
Yes, you can.
No, bro, you can't spread. No, Aaron, help me. You can't spread peanut butter on top of jelly. It won't.
No.
There's
It gotta be
there's
peanut butter
There's there's no traction. There's no like.
It gotta be
you know,
peanut butter.
Okay, you're probably right. Again, I don't know. Have you not witnessed it?
Hey,
I'm not
at
saying.
this point, you never know. It could be
it
whatever.
gave me chills when you described it first. That's how crazy it may be to me. Oh man. All right.
So I'm not crazy.
No, you're not.
Okay.
I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying
No,
she is.
right. That's
She's not. You're not either, but I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, I put peanut butter. I'm actually we can change subjects in a second. I'm actually Aaron. What is the order? Is it jelly or peanut butter?
What you mean?
Like which one's first? Like what do you do first?
Peanut butter. See, look, this how I look at it, right?
Okay, yeah.
I do peanut butter first. I do peanut butter first, and then you got to clean off the knife enough so when you go into the jelly. But the thing about jelly is you never use it unless you're doing a peanut butter and jelly. So if you get a little peanut butter in your jelly, that's okay.
It don't really matter.
Yeah.
But if you get jelly in your peanut butter, that's a problem because sometimes I use peanut butter for other things that's not jelly related.
Mm-hmm.
So I need my peanut butter to be,
as clean as possible.
Uncontaminated. I don't need it to be, messed with. So the jelly, it can be a little, peanut buttery in there, but we got to keep that peanut butter.
Yeah.
Integrity.
It's definitely and you clean off the knife on the other slice of bread or on the other piece of bread, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all three of us are on the same accord here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
so
rare.
we don't have to dismantle a PR project. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I'm glad we got through that. I'm with Malik on this one. I'm just shocked to get her on camera now. I mean, you could just set up a camera in like a corner. You got to get it on camera.
I mean, I'll record it and post it maybe, but I'm not she's not gonna come on camera right now.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about just that would go viral. That would go viral. People would be losing their minds.
I think it might be more common than we think, to be honest.
No, it can't be, Aaron. It can't be. No. Let's change the subject. It can't be though. I'm just saying it can't be. I know you want to test it cannot be normal. I mean, it can't be.
This is why I say it might be a little more normal, right? They sell
Go
jars with peanut butter and jelly in the jar together.
Which
you're not gonna slap that on both slices.
I would never try that either. Would you?
Have you tried that? What is that? Smart? They don't make it anymore, do they?
They did at some point. I don't know if they still do, but they did at some point.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and just looking like giving it like the side eye in the aisle. You know,
it's like how much convenience do we need? Like this is
yeah.
Who asked for this?
I mean, if the only thing good about that is the jar looks kind of cool. Like you're just trying to think about how they do
it.
It kind of goes back to the toothpaste with the Aquafresh and the red and the blue.
Yes. But then as soon as you flip the Aquafresh thing over, you see it's 3 separate containers. And then when you open up the jar of the Smucker's little mix thing, there is no divider. So it's like, how did y'all get this in here?
No, as soon as you put your knife in there, you ruin the whole aesthetics of the jar.
It's done. Yeah. Now it's just some weird concoction of like.
It looks probably gross. Yeah.
I feel like we get into a point in American life where people don't make their own peanut butter and jelly sandwiches anymore, though.
What are you saying?
Are amazing. And
what happened?
They're already prepared for you. Uncrustables, they already prepare for you. You just
I've never had this.
You ever had
You know,
Uncrustables? I haven't either, but I've seen them. They're out the
No, what are you talking about?
supermarket.
It's so Uncrustable. It's like an individually wrapped sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but like it's sealed around it. The edges. There's no
Mm,
crust on the bread.
It's like a
Mm.
pot pie.
Yeah,
seal,
it's like
you
a,
know,
it's like a ham pie, but
yeah.
mm.
it's just white bread with jelly, peanut butter and jelly in it, and it's
Okay.
usually in the frozen aisle, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you
I
can
think I
get it
might have
frozen
seen
where
these.
You can pop it in the microwave for a little bit, and it's like
That's
warm.
another Smucker's creation.
The
Yeah.
Smuckers is they sound like they play too much. You know, do y'all remember, or Gary, maybe Gary, do you remember like they used to sell these things that were like presses almost for your for your house, and like you could put a sandwich in it
A
and
panini
it would
press.
like it was shaped like a sandwich though.
Yeah, panini press.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
like the lines in it.
Yeah.
no, it was shaped
Oh.
like a sandwich, and it had a divider, like so it would cut this. It would press it, heat it, like toast it, and it would cut the sandwich in half, so it would make what y'all talking about, but like hot and toasted. You know what I mean? And so when you take it out, like it would be a sandwich cut in two, pretty much. It would be still connected, but it would just be like cooked, and you could almost break it apart. And so whatever was in the sandwich is now sealed inside the thing. I used to do it. I used to do it with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches back in the day. My mom used to have one, and I thought that was like, it was like mind blowing, like how good like a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich was.
That sounds vaguely familiar. I can't quite
Mm.
picture it, but I think it does sound familiar for sure.
See, yeah. Alexis, age group,
The only way to cut a
Age
sandwich.
group.
age group,
Alexa's age group winner.
age group winner. Let's go. Yeah, man, it was amazing because you could do like I don't think it was for peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think it was more for like grilled cheese. You know, I don't know, like stuff like that. But I threw a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in there one time and went bananas, bro. Bananas. Okay.
So we're the PR project. This is episode 99.
Segment number 1. Welcome to the PR project. That was worthy. That was worth it. I don't care.
Yeah.
If somebody signed off, if you're listening to this and you're like thinking about signing off because of that first segment, sign off and never come back, because this is, I mean, certain things in life have to be talked about, and that was one of them. So here we are. Peanut butter and bananas. Okay, we don't have that. We don't have to go down that road. I agree with you. Those are great. A little dry sometimes, but
On a sandwich, trash. Terrible.
On a sandwich, it's not trash.
In my oatmeal, beautiful. I love the combination of the flavor. But
yeah, with some butter.
Bananas on the sandwich, texture wise, it's not for me.
Is that? Oh, this is an Elvis thing.
Yeah.
Elvis, oh, I'm definitely gonna stop doing it now. I don't know why, but I just don't want to. But yeah. Welcome to the PR Project, episode 99. We've apparently gotten more and more ridiculous as we've gotten to closer to 100.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Gary, PR Project, just let you know, PR Project had started a little while back in, what was it, Aaron, 23? 22.
21.
22? Oh, yeah, officially 2022, January, because of a race. Yeah, so 22, and then you came on board in 2023. But just to let you know, I mean, we talked about a lot of crazy things here, like deer, alien, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and also racing, because the PR Project was surrounded around racing and things like that. You, my friend, went after, you were going out, you had like some vengeance in your eyes for the last, month or so, ever since the turkey trot, really. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that journey. So we talked about, going after the turkey and how to dominate the turkey trot. Tell us what happened there, then what happened after that, and then what happened after that.
The turkey trot, which was on Thanksgiving Day, which I'm sure everybody already here knows, was the biggest of the 3 races I did. But it was my comeback race after a summer of injury, and just slowly building myself back up, not trying to get out there too soon, just biding my time and making sure I was ready to go. And that was a great race for me, except for the fact that I just missed breaking 18 with an 18:01 finish. And I thought, well, that was the tangents and that was all the people. I can surely go to this race out in Pontiac, which is an out and back, practically zero tangents, and I understand it might have a hill or two, but it should be flat and fast, and I'm ready to go. It was an out and back. There were tangents to be had because the floats were in the middle of the route. And it was not so much a hill or two, but it was a rolling course. It was still pretty good. And I ended up running in 18:03. So I immediately, almost like in the car, I got on the phone looking for another 5K the very next weekend. But I'm so close and I'm running so well. I thought, let me just find one more. And there was this brand new race called the Santa Hustle. It was the first time in Michigan. It's a chain of races, though. They have them all over the country.
Oh, really?
One was
So, really?
Yeah. I found that out later. But this one was at Stony Creek Metro Park. And that can be a challenging course as well. We've all run it. That's where the Hansons Brook team does a lot of their training because of the rollers. So it's a good place to get some good training in. Is it a good place to race? I didn't care. I needed to get this, monkey off my back, so to speak. So I felt pretty confident going into it just because one of Abigail's cross-country meets was at Stony Creek. And I did the whole loop and I felt great. I didn't notice that it was hilly. I just ran the loop and, I think I even got a comment from my coach saying, my paces were a bit spicy just for a regular old, easy run. So I kind of felt confident going in. It was cold. It's probably the coldest it's been all year. Was this past Sunday for this race. And I got to the line. I wasn't thinking about winning so much as thinking about making sure I gave everything I had to breaking this 18. And I get to the line, and there is a young college kid there with an NJCAA National Championship race T-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got like Macomb Community College gear on. And I thought, it's okay. You're not here to win. You're here to get a time. Don't worry about it. And the gun goes off and he takes off. And this little 8-year-old also takes off. So they're both ahead of me in the first half mile. And at one point I hear this mom yell out to this kid, "You can take your coat off whenever you're feeling hot." I'm like, this is kid gonna do? Like,
Bro he had a triple fat goose on or something.
Yeah, but I'm like, am I gonna get smoked by a college kid and a toddler? Like, what's going on here?
An 8-year-old with a coat on.
Yeah. But eventually I get past him, and then I'm looking at my watch, and I realize this kid in front of me, this college kid, he's slowing down. And I thought, okay, well, don't use him as a guide. Just if you pass him, you pass him, no big deal. And I did. I passed him at like the mile mark, and then at the mile and a half mark, right before the turnaround, he passes me, and he gets a bit of a lead. And I keep thinking to myself, it's okay. You're on time. You're on pace. Don't worry about him. And then at the 2-mile mark, he just lost it. He slowed way down, and I passed.
Wait, are you talking about me in Pontiac, or are you talking about the guy in?
No, this is
the same story. I'm listening to it. Like, wait, are you telling?
Sounds familiar.
No, this is my story.
It was this college kid, and I ended up passing him, and I just thought to myself the whole way, just push as hard as you can. Like, this is it. This is the last race you're going to have for the year, hopefully, and just give it everything you got. And I remember I crossed the finish line, and the timer was up. There was a 10K race that started 15 minutes prior to. So the timer's for the 10K race. I have no idea what my time is until I check my watch. And the time was great. The time ended up being 17:47, which I was really happy with. I put all this hard work in. But the guy at the end of it, he's like, "We have our first 5K." He goes, "And what's your name?" And my face is frozen. And as some of us learned yesterday, when you're out in the cold and you're trying to say something, you can't quite get all the words out properly. So I'm just like, it's gay.
What did he say? What did he think you
just goes,
said?
Okay, Gary. Did you just run the 10K or the 5K? I'm like, 5K, man. Like,
Yeah, what do you think this is?
what kind of 10K guys you got coming here? You know, but it was a fun race, and the part of the course is Stony Creek. Slight rollers, but nothing crazy like we've seen. Like, so it wasn't the hardest part of the loop at all. But they had about the same amount of people as the Pontiac runoff run. So it wasn't like I was beating a ton of folks, but a win is a win, and I'll take it. And I take it over a freshman who I looked up later was a freshman at Macomb Community.
who I stalked later on on the internet.
Freshman at Macomb Community College cross country whose team made it to the cross country national championships for that division. So, okay, that's a good win too. So, positives all around.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Gary. I'm glad you got that monkey off your back. We're definitely happy for you. Third time's a charm.
Right. So now I get to focus on the next adventure, which is coming up in April. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's kind of a testament to the beauty of the 5K is that if you are in 5K shape, you can get after it almost every weekend. Like your body doesn't need to like go through that huge recovery cycle like for a marathon or a half marathon or something like that. You can as long as you're being intentional about it, you can pretty much get out there every weekend, every other weekend for a season. I mean, this is kind of the way cross country works and track works. People they run a bunch of those shorter races over a certain period of time. So if you ever rearing up to run a 5K and you don't like how it goes, don't hesitate to get back out there and oftentimes that second one or that third one will be better because you're getting more familiar with the feeling of racing that short distance, and even that race is increasing your fitness because it's such a demanding race. It's a great way to get faster and become more efficient and all of that good stuff. So and
this goes back, and also it's also a good app, like a good if people ask me like why should I have a coach, this is a reason why. Because my coach was like, hey, I'm going to do this 5K again, and she quickly adjusted my schedule. Like, okay, we're doing this again. Here we go. And it wasn't the same week after week. The workout she gave me were still 5K workouts, but they were different versions of it. And so, if you're looking to get a coach, you don't know you need one. This is a good story to say, because the coaches can quickly adjust based on what your needs are, what your wants are, versus coming out of a book and you're not sure what to do or how to train and like what version of this workout should I do for this week if I want to do it again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that. Bro waited to do the winter of speed. Yeah, I mean, I think that is really cool. Like Aaron has a good point. It's like you really can go after. I mean, you see that like in the big track and field, like the track and field circuit is like they're just like bombing these races and these 1500s and all that stuff. 10Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks, like it's nothing all summer long. So yeah, that's fun though. I'm glad you got it though. Like this is the last race, and I'm glad you were like able to tell yourself like in the middle of it, like yo, just go all out because this is it. And that's a good story to tell. Like and it's I mean on some like dad stuff too. That's like a perfect. If the kids were watching, like that's that type of perfect like moment to be like yeah, it doesn't work out every time you the way you plan it, and if you can just spin the block, go back at it, whether, running anything in life, just in general. I was happy for you. Yeah, right. I was happy for you when I saw that you broke that 18. And it's not like you were going for like a big PR, like your lifetime PR or whatever like that, but it meant something to you because you wanted to end the year well, kind of leading into your April tings. So I
mean, I hadn't broken 18 since 21.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
So that was a lot of it too. It was just like I felt like I was in a stagnation for a little bit. I needed to to break through again. Like, oh, I can still do this. You know,
I mean, that really goes to show you like how long it can take to shake like marathon legs or mind. I don't even know if it's marathon legs more so than like marathon mind, you know, because it's like the governor is so ingrained in the marathoner, you know. It's like you gotta slow down, slow down. You know, the panic and alarms and stuff like that go off so soon. Like when we ran that 5K, I hadn't run that hard in a while, and it was like we were like into like halfway into the race or to the first mile, and I was like, I had to like remind myself this is a 5K, so just stay here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's cool that you didn't just sneak in under 18 either. Like you really like you really like it was solid. Like it was that when I was running on my quest to break 18 as well, I thought that I would run like 17:55. I'm like, all right, I'll be cool with that, whatever. But like 17:40 something, it's like, all right, that was legit. Like I know for sure, you know, it was it. So same thing for you. It's like under 17:50, solid.
You didn't have to you didn't have to like dive over the line, you know, like just take a dive over the line. 17:59, I did it.
Mark it down.
Yeah. But yeah, and then that barrier is gone. That mental barrier is for sure gone now. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, and then on the same day. Hold on. Talk for me.
All right. Tommy's going. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I'll kind of cue up what Tommy is going to talk about. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. If you're here, you probably have. Tommy, on that same day that Gary ran the Santa Hustle 5K, Tommy also raced, and he raced somewhere a little further away than Stony Creek Metro Park. So how was that, Mr.
And warmer.
Yeah, it was good. So Gary was on a 5K tour. This is the ending of the last half of the world tour in Egypt. It was super, super cool. Just like backstory, Puma, I had gone to Jamaica with Puma like earlier in the year, and then got the invite from that like same team from within Puma. It was like they wanted to. Puma had sponsored this race, and I think it's like their third year maybe sponsoring the Pyramids Half Marathon. So it's like they literally the Pyramids it's a complex that's there. So it's like all gated off, and it like remains a desert. You know what I mean? Like, so once you get past those gates, you're in the desert again, because outside of it's all like city and, you know, and living. And so it was just like, it was really cool to be there. And like the road that is within the complex kind of loops around and goes around it a little bit. They don't go like directly through them. But it just kind of like close enough to be like to look over to your left and right at times and see the pyramids right there. But Puma had invited me out. They don't even have like they don't even have like a shoe that's coming out right now. So it's really that same shoe that we've been talking about for quite some time, which is really good. The Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. If you haven't gotten it, I mean, it's up there. I think if it's not top 3, it's a top 5 contender for like a choice for like a race from oddly any distance. Then you guys both did you guys both PR, not PR, but did you both just break 18 in the what did you wear, Aaron, for yours?
I wore the Pumas, but I didn't break 18. But I wore the Pumas in the 5K, and I wore the Pumas in the marathon. So that shows kind of versatility of them.
Yeah, like there's not that many. I mean, there's a few, but like there's maybe one other one's like off the top of the head that could like pull that off, like where you would like lace it up confidently in both distances. So so like I went out there first time on the continent of Africa, so obviously the first time in Egypt. We went to Cairo, because Cairo is where the pyramids are. There's like in this like little small park called Giza. Really, the experience was just insane, like just to be out there and just see such a different culture than some of like the European. I mean, I've been to like London and in Berlin, but like that it was just such a different experience, like landing in Cairo. And it's just immediately different. And some of the places that like are in the world, they kind of like remind you a little more Western. This was not one of those places. So it was just really cool to like really be in that environment and see all the sights and go to the museum and see mummies and stuff like that and see like King Tut's like coffins and things like that. It was just insane. And then that Saturday, same day, Gary raced raced the Santa Hustle. I ran the half marathon, so I wasn't like trying to go after anything, but I definitely wanted to have like a respectable like feel, and but also be able to kind of enjoy the moment. So I ended up like linking up with Lisa, who's the fashion jogger. She said she was trying to run like 135. So I'm like, okay, like I think I could figure that out and run with you on that one. I ended up wearing the Puma. I don't know the full name of like DV8 Nitro like RB. It's the one that is like it's technically illegal. It has like 3 plates in it. It's the stack is super high. I wasn't competing for any age groups, anything like that. So I'm like, no one cares if it's illegal. But it was so the course was really cool. Like you start off, the pyramids are right there. It's notably dry. You know, you need to stay hydrated. They had a lot of water stations, and the funny part was like they didn't have they were like bottled waters. Like actually this is not water, but this is the size bottled water that they have like they're handing to you like on the course with the top on it. Like so you gotta like open it or whatever. But they definitely make sure you stay hydrated because it could be I feel like it could be pretty dangerous if you went out there dehydrated for sure.
Did they have nutrition? Sorry, did they have nutrition as well?
No, they didn't. I mean, because it was a half, a 10K and a 5K.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I'm not sure like they, on a half, I'm not sure where they put the nutrition. I think they had a couple like they had bananas and stuff like that. This race is like 6 years old. Like I met the guys who put it on. It's called the Tri Factory. That's like their race organization. And young guys, I mean, I think they were like maybe max like 42, 43, this is their 6th year doing it. And they do a really good job. Like, it's for it to be in such a like a historic place, in that close to the pyramids, and it's just a crazy concept. Like that'd be like somebody like starting a race that like goes through the mall in DC, right past Abe Lincoln, you know what I mean? Like it would be like to that level of like, how are we this close to this thing doing this, like running, but it was really cool. A lot of walkers and stuff like that. So it was very family friendly. In fact, like there was like kids at the start that were like maybe 9, 10 or something like that, like right up front. And I was like very worried about them. So here's how it went. Like, so they let the influencers or whoever was like part of like the Puma team get in front of everybody else. And they had everybody else set back like maybe like 50 meters from the actual start line. For some reason, I'm not really sure why they had them back so far. But so like we're up front, just milling around. Right. We're like in the, like if there was like an elite section, we were like in the elite section, just doing like random stuff that made people know that we're definitely not elite. And then when they let that rope up, like all of a sudden, like people just came rushing, like it was like we were going somewhere, like people are pushing us and stuff like that. And it was just like mass, like this energy to get to this front line and all that. And I'm looked up and this guy has a pacer sign and it says 6:45, right? So I'm thinking like, 6:45 pace, that's like, an hour and 30 minutes or something like that, right? For a half. I'm like, that's weird for you to be up here, but whatever. And then I'm like halfway through it, I'm like, oh my God, like that dude that said 6 minute 45 per kilometer.
Oh,
so that's like 7, 8, like that's like 9 minutes or something like that per mile. I'm like, why did you push to get up here? And how many people did you you ruined somebody's day, like where is the pacer? Oh, he's up front anyway. But so this race was really cool. Hilliest half marathon that I've ever done. I ran the half marathon in Atlanta the day after the trials in 2020. I think maybe it was like 400, which is a lot. you know, for a half marathon. This was 630 feet of elevation gain for a half marathon. Like there was at one point, and it was like a couple little out and backs, you know, like at mile like 2-ish or so, you go down this super steep hill, like where there's like there's no choice other than to hit the brakes, you know, like there is no like just let the hill take you thing, because it'd be impossible. And I didn't realize we had to come back up that hill until like we'd hit the U-turn. I'm like, oh, there's no road, like there's no other, like, so we climbed up this, and to the point where everybody was just kind of like shuffling by the top of it because it was just so steep. And then there was another hill from that was, once you get toward closer towards the end, it's like 2K downhill and then 2K back up that same hill. And that was absolutely brutal. You know, it was like one of those, just like put your head down and just keep trying to move forward. But other than like how difficult the course was and how like it wasn't really hot though, like that was the thing that I noticed. It was the wind there is like enough to keep you okay. Whenever the wind is at your back, it can get hot real quick, because it's just, you don't feel like the benefit of you don't feel the resistance of the wind at all. But every time, but I'm glad I didn't go there to race it. I'm glad that, you know, that I was like kind of like concerned with somebody else's race and day. We ended up running 131 and some change. The fact
that's a good
yeah.
It's a good time, like in terms of like you're not like shuffling there, but you're still like you're giving an effort.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, it wasn't like I wouldn't like write it in. Like in the difficulty of the course, definitely like made me like kind of like you got to lock in and make sure you're okay, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a couple spots that was kind of tough because like you go over this like weird. There was a couple sections there was no road. It was just like sand and rocks. So that was a little sketchy. There was a couple of those, but there was no road to connect. So they had to make do what they needed to do to make sure they didn't like go over distance. But it was just like, it was a race that I'll never forget. If I would do it again for sure, you know, and there was some people, I ran into some people that were from the States, some Black people too, that was out there that was just happened to be there, you know? I think it's a thing, like if you are looking for a destination race that would be around one of the last ancient wonders of the world. It's a vibe. Puma does a really great job as a sponsor. The race people do a really great job putting it on. It was just a vibe all the way around. And I'll never forget that trip because it was just so like just monumental, like in the concept of like where you are, what you're getting to see, like while you're running. And then the experience outside, like once you're done and you know, dinners and whatever you got to do, it's just a crazy place to and Cairo itself is insane though. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's like no city I've ever been in. Like the way that they like move, like traffic moves. I didn't see one stop sign or traffic light the entire time, I don't think. And it was just like constant movement. They're very like, the language of the city is like horns honking. That's it. Horns honking and lights flashing, because they'll flash their lights at each other like to move, you're going too slow, this and that. They don't follow like the whole, there's 2 lanes here. If there's 2 lanes but 3 cars could fit alongside each other, that's what they're doing. There's Uber moped or Uber motorcycle. There's a bunch of people I didn't see one bike or, you know, like motorcycle or moped with one person on it. It was always somebody riding with them. But it was crazy, a great time, a really cool way to end off a really cool year for me. And shout out to Puma for linking up with that, because that was amazing.
So what was the winning time?
The winning time was 109.
All right.
So I mean, it was pretty respectable with 630 feet. So I talked to the guy after, and I asked him like what he ran. I didn't know he won, but I was like, "What'd you do?" Like 109. I'm like, "Damn, what place were you?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I won it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I started asking him questions. That was his first half marathon, and I'm like, "That's insane." He's like, "Well, you know, I'm very big into like track and field or whatever." Like, so I think he was like downplaying what, I don't know. I think he was downplaying like what he does in track and field, but I think he may be like a 5K guy or a 5,000 meter guy or something like that. But I'm like, well, was it difficult like for your first? He's like, No, not really. Like I've run on hills before, like for training, and I'm like, all right, well, this conversation's over.
Was he from Egypt?
No, I can't remember where he's from. He had an accent, but I think he might have been like, I can't remember where he's from. He definitely wasn't from Egypt though, but I don't think he was. But he crushed it though. I think he won by like 3 minutes or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, so it was a good vibe, and I don't know if it's I think if they upped the prize money eventually and got rid of those like those like sandy rock parts, that could be a race that like I feel like over time could be pretty. I mean, they had like I think it was like 6,000 people, so
Okay.
that's pretty
Yeah.
good. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Um, yeah. So, but it was great. It was a great vibe. Great vibe.
What would you say is like your overarching takeaway from? Because that's not like a little thing. Like that's your first time on the continent, and just that experience. What would you say is your overarching takeaway from it?
So I got to go in the pyramids. Like, so that the pyramids. Okay, the overarching takeaway is that the Egyptians, from that time, were just different people, or something was different. Like, and I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to get any conspiracy theories and all that stuff. But what I'm telling you is like just being there, seeing it, like the pyramids, like in front of you, and like being able to be like close enough to it so you really see like what was. It's hard to fathom. And then even like when you see like some of their coffins and the way that they did things and how long some of these things were able to be preserved. I mean, we're talking about like 4,000 years ago. It's that's my, like, I don't know what they were doing, what they were tapped into, or like maybe they were just using like more larger percentage of their brains or something that allowed them to like kind of think in a different way. But that was my thing, and I kind of like am upset, like what didn't pass from them. You know what I'm saying? Like for them to do things like that, and then for people now, this many years later, to not really know how they did it with all the technology we have, they died with something. Like they were like, nope, we're not passing this to anybody else. And that's like, dang, that's crazy. Because they didn't even. It's not like going into Wakanda or whatever. You know, like everything inside the city is different. Like it's just that moment. Like when you see what they were doing way back then. You know, and that was just, I'll always remember like the awe of the whole, like the concept of what they were able to achieve. Because like we went into the pyramids, that's a whole different story. So we got a couple more minutes. So are either one of you claustrophobic?
I realized
I don't think so.
Wait, Joe, Gary, no, think so. What'd you say, Aaron?
I literally realized I kind of am today.
Today?
What
happened?
I was at a gas station and they had an outdoor restroom. But when I say this restroom was like a closet. And so like it was outside. So I had to get a key, go out, and I opened the door and it was so small that I used the bathroom and I didn't close the door behind me. Because I'm like, I can't be in this small room with the door closed. I'm gonna freak out.
It was like smaller than a porta potty almost?
Yes. It was like toilet, sink, and then like enough leg room to like stand there. And your back was basically like on the wall. I'm like, this is insane.
Like, what are y'all doing? All right. So, and y'all know that I am claustrophobic. Like I can't sit in the back. I can't sit in a back seat with two people without like trying to like redirect my thoughts without getting weird. So like this lady's on the bus. We had a tour guide. She's like, you know, who wants to go in the pyramid? And people raise their hand or whatever. And she's like, well, is anybody claustrophobic? I raise my hand. And she's like, whoever's claustrophobic, I would suggest you don't go because it's a distance from when the tunnel gets small up to the point when it opens up a bit. And then it's also, and she was like, but going up is much more difficult going down. Right. And so I'm like, okay, like, but I was like, no, I can't do it. She's like, it's really tight. It's hotter in there than you would think. All these things in my brain, I'm picturing like, you know, what's that guy's name who was in the pyramids back in the day? Indiana Jones. I'm King Tut. I'm picturing like I'm picturing like you like squeezing through like tight, you know, caverns and stuff like that. Like I'm picturing the walls being this close and you're just like squeezing through, but it wasn't that. But so I was like, nah, I can't do it. But then I'm looking as we're driving up to the pyramids. I'm like, I can't be here and not even try. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. So I'm like, fine, I'm gonna do it. I'll go, and it's like a tunnel up. Like the smaller pyramids, there's the tunnel goes down. Like you go down into where the tomb is. This like the Great Pyramid, the bigger one, you go like up this like this square like shaft with like it's like a 45-degree angle, and it's whatever. So you're going up and you can't, it's like it's always super busy there, and you can't it's always super busy. So you can't see like up to the end, right? So we start going up and you're like hunched over because it's like a 45-degree angle. And I'm like trying to be calm. I'm like trying to breathe through my nose. Like I'm like employing all the things that I've learned to be like calm about. And then all of a sudden, like these people start coming down. And in my head, she said, up is more difficult than going down. So in my mind, I'm like, it's obviously one way up, and then you loop around and go down a different way that's apparently bigger, right? But then people start coming down the thing, and they're all sweating and looking like real concerned. And so in my mind, I went to immediate panic mode, because that means it must get smaller up there, and these grown people are like so scared that they have to come back. So I looked at this guy in the eye as he's like sweating, like going past me, like in this little small area, tight, like we this close. And I'm like, is it that bad up there? And then he looks at me and starts speaking French. And I was like, damn, I'm about to die in here, bro. And then this other guy came. He's a much bigger dude, and he needed like all the space to come down. So like I had to like squeeze against this wall, and he like rubbed against like me, like whole body, and pushed me up against this wall. And I'm about to freak out. Like I'm telling myself I can't do it. I turned around to see how many people were behind me, and it was like 20 people lined up behind me, like all the way halfway up this thing. And then eventually like it cleared up, and I just like hurried and like scurried up there. But finally we get to like this point where it opens up, like in this, you can super stand up. It's like 20 feet ceiling or whatever. And all that to say, like there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. Like there's not like a mummy like waiting for you. Everything that was in there is like taken out. But like it was the most like gratifying moment of like doing something that I didn't think I could do, but then also like being like inside of the pyramids or like of the Great Pyramid that's been there for, they said like 5,000 years, something, or 45,000 years, something, or 4,500 years. It to be in it was just like insane and crazy. It does get insanely hot in there, like, and they're actually not sure like why it gets as hot as it does. But the energy around it, once you see it and get close to it, it's a totally different thing. And I don't know if it's just everybody's energy changes, or there's energy around that thing and you feel it. But it's the craziest thing ever. You feel different. I mean, it was just crazy. If you're claustrophobic, if it's not deathly claustrophobic, like you just like you'll spaz out anytime, don't go. But if you're just like, if you can manage it, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It was so worth it for me.
No, I would do that for sure.
So did you sentiments of your mother?
Yeah.
My mom sent me a picture of her in front of the pyramid, and she sent me a picture of like her near the Sphinx and stuff like that. So I just didn't know. I don't know if she went in or not. Like it must have either was closed or something. But so I guess back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, I guess there was no structure around the pyramid. Like, so it was like kind of like it was much more aggressive. Like you'd get there and people would be like charging you, like random people would be like forcing you to go in, like, like it was much more like, it wasn't very tourist friendly, because people were like making their living like by like selling you the concept of going in, and people would get a little aggressive, like, no, these are my people, you know what I'm saying? Like they, it was much more wild, I guess, back in the day. But I'm very glad that we didn't have to deal with that like moment. Oh, she went during COVID.
Yeah, you're not going to get people inside for COVID. That is.
Yeah, it was much too tight for a COVID experience. But yeah, that's my I think it was crazy. I still want to go back to Africa and experience like my stereotypical version of Africa, like the Black Africa. You know, I definitely want to go to Kenya or Ethiopia and like really experience like that side of it, or even like Tanzania. You know what I mean? There's plenty of places, obviously, but like those are the ones that stick out to me. I'd love to go do that still and be like part of that experience, because that's definitely different than like the more like Middle Eastern, like reaching parts of Africa.
Yeah, you want the sub-Saharan African experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I feel it. Same here.
Yes, sir. But no, it was crazy. It was such a great experience. I'm still hype off it.
As you should be. That's like many people don't get, many Americans don't get a chance to experience that at all, ever. So yeah, that's
right.
It's a huge thing for sure.
That's one thing I noticed though too, like just like in the travels or whatever, is like people from like Europe and in that side of the world are much more traveled. It's much easier for them to like move around. I mean, obviously we're kind of like, we're kind of just, I mean, America's so large that it's like it costs a lot of money to get to certain spots, and it's in the infrastructure isn't there for us to just bounce around like that, even to Canada. Like not everybody's been to Canada, and we're like right here. Yeah. But like when you go over there, like people have been everywhere. There's no like, oh man, one day I wish I could go to the pyramids. It's like, oh, let's just get on a plane and go over there. It's like $100 or whatever, how much ever it is. But I wish that like for more people like could see more of the world, because it's so much different like in some of these places that just make you look at like life a bit different, good and bad.
Yeah.
Ooh.
For sure.
PR project goes to the Kilimanjaro half.
Talk about
elevation.
I mean,
I don't know if it's an out and back or what, or up and down or what. I don't know how it works.
The people's race.
Yeah,
let's do some research on that.
Yeah, let's do some research on the Kilimanjaro half for sure. They call it the people's race.
That's what it looks like. That's what it's. The first one I Googled, it came up, and it's in February. It says the people's race, Kilimanjaro. Oh, this is an international marathon, actually. We'll figure it out. We'll look into it.
So Aaron,
come back soon.
Aaron, come back in a little bit. So how's the gym going? Because I remember we talked on a couple of runs. Like you've been hitting the gym often. I've been seeing it on the gram. First you're like, you know what? I hate lifting. I feel like you might be in that zone where you're starting to enjoy lifting.
No.
Dang. Okay. You just make it look better on Instagram then.
I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but it's very satisfying. It's similar to running, like it's not. Okay. Especially when you aren't used to lifting. I'm starting to get into the routine of it now, and I'm not like sore and stuff, but it's still hard to pick up heavy things over and over with no, real like payoff. But it's we'll see. I will say I felt better in my runs. I felt stronger, and being able. It's like when you first start running too, like being able to like quickly progress, like where something is like super difficult the first time you try it, but then 4 weeks later it's like, okay, I kind of understand it now, and I can do more weight, and
I understand it now.
Yeah, shout out to Lethal Shooter. Yeah, for sure. But so just want to stay consistent and keep working at it. I think it's cool, and people like my little jokes about being a runner in a gym and not feeling 100% like comfortable or like belonging. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very relatable feeling to be in a gym as a runner and not necessarily feel perfectly at home. But we breaking the stigma.
Yeah. I mean, as I feel like I was telling Joe, like I'm about to get back into the gym, obviously, just to get better, stronger, all that stuff. But I don't want to do like the runner workouts. So, like the typical like, yo, run workouts for runners, and you just do all these like little stuff. I want to lift. I don't know, like do like the Olympic type stuff and deadlift, squats. All
They
that
say
stuff.
that's better. They say that's actually better for runners though. Like
Yeah,
all that little body weight, mobility stuff that a lot of runners do. I think they could stand to gain more from doing like deadlifts or like bench press, like weighted squats, like real, like really like push and work to get stronger. But like I said, we us as runners, we aren't comfortable with doing that. It's kind of foreign, so a lot of times we just
and not to obviously this isn't a sponsor or whatever, but Nell Rojas, she incorporates a lot of the runner stuff and heavy lifting.
Yeah,
heavier lifting into her plans, because it's a lot of squats. If you have a hex bar, which some gyms have, that's in there. Dumbbells, barbells, all that stuff. So I definitely, when I'm regular doing it, it definitely helps. And I do appreciate doing the heavier stuff than just the regular balance on one leg and do some running lunges with with body weight stuff.
Yeah,
For sure.
and I feel like we crave that feeling of like physical exertion in that way because it's such a different like push from running, right? Like trying to like really push heavy weight is a different experience, and it almost makes you feel like a little more masculine, a little more like okay, I can handle something if I need to.
bro, one visit to the gym, bro, walk out different.
You feel me? Walk out with your chest out a little more. You're like, hold on, let me see if somebody want to try me today.
Yeah, and that's when I start using the word swole a lot more.
Whoa.
Swole.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you thought I said. I can't even imagine what.
No, I heard you.
I think you said it clearly. Bro be pushing around the kids when they get home. Like watch out, watch out. Yeah. I mean, I think that's another thing too. Like people immediately think like lifting heavy means you're gonna get big. Like it don't. You can if you want to.
Yeah.
But to get big, it's not like and some people like teenagers maybe lift if like they can probably lift a couple of boxes of cereal and start looking bigger, but it takes a bit to like actually put on like weight and mass and all that stuff. I mean, and depending on how many times
no one gets big on accident.
Yeah, and if you're running a lot too, like they balance each other out quite a bit. You're gonna get a little bigger, obviously, but you're not about to look like Johnny Bravo after just because you did a couple bench presses. But yeah, so yeah, I plan on getting back in there too. So I've been using your videos as inspo. So appreciate the fire, brother.
Absolutely. Good to know. I'm inspired.
Somebody, it's one of us at least. So we got the 100th episode coming up, and please, guys, if you are listening to this or watching, if you have ideas or topics you'd like for us to talk about in our 100th episode, hit us up. Drop us.
And
if
you'd like, if you've been a OG member or OG listener, send us your favorite moments. Like send us the best moments of the last 100 episodes if you have one. And yeah, let's talk about it. Let's really take a look back and honor this achievement of 100 episodes, because that's crazy. We just started. It seemed like we just started this last week, and we're already at 100 episodes. So let us know. DM us on Instagram and send a link or send a voice note and let's talk about it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let us know what your favorite moments are. Let us know if you have any questions or topics you want us to make sure we cover. Whatever. I want this to 100 episodes should be a fun one. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tapping in. Thanks for always supporting us and letting us go off on our tangents more so lately than ever before. It'll continue.
I think people love the tangents. I'm not gonna.
No, it'll continue. Oh, I wouldn't apologize. I'm just saying thanks for being here for him. Because if it was only one of you listening, we'd still be doing the tangents. Shout out to y'all, and I'll see y'all soon, brothers. Nice wave, Gary.
It wasn't.